Hello, my unstoppable lionesses. How are you? I'm hoping that you're faring well here in 2026 and that you are really, really embracing the time that we have been graced with, just to be in a new year with all these wonderful opportunities ahead of us. For the new year. That's the exciting part to me to enter into a new season, into a new year, is that, hey, we've got 12 months. Well, we got 11 and a half months now to just really chop it up and just make it what we're going to make it be. I'm really excited about my guest today, Seriously. She is an author, a advocate for women, a retired professor, and she has just this such a beautiful zest and a zeal for women not giving up on their dreams and their passions and what lies ahead of them. And we were just talking before. We started the broadcast, and I was saying to her, that I'm believing that this is the season of the lionesses, that it's our coming out period. So help me welcome Miss Argie Nell Nichols with me, please. How are you, girl?
Oh, I'm doing great. And I have to tell you that I turned 70 the 1st of January. So this year is even more important for me because number one, I'm celebrating that I've made it this long.
Yes,
And number
ma'am.
two, I have so many women out there that I want to work with and show them
Mm,
that uh, we're not done. We're just
mm-mm.
getting started. And you
Absolutely.
know what? I talk about the golden chapter. Well, we're going into that segment of our life, and
Absolutely.
we're going into it with strength and
Mm,
authenticity,
yes.
and I'm just ready to roll. So,
I am too. You beat me by 10 months. I'll be 70 October 12th. So you got me by 10 months. But I am so excited for this season. I really, really am. It is so funny when we think about our youth and somebody would say they were 70, it would be like, oh, they're old.
mhm.
But this is like really, you can express how you feel, but it's like my best chapter. It's my best season. Um, Unapologetic about who I am, the skin I'm in, what I've been called to do. It is just so liberating, so liberating. How are you feeling about this season?
Oh, you just took the words right out of my mouth. I have to tell you, there was a time right after I retired that I was a little lost because I went from a whole bunch of students to none, and I'm like, okay, I don't have any papers to grade. I don't have any Zoom lectures, so I kind of plopped myself down in the recliner and put my feet up, and I'm like, I'm retired. And and that lasted maybe 3 days, and I'm like, what the heck?
Okay, now what?
This is not
That
me.
was fun. Now what?
Yeah, I got to have something to do. So I've always got something to do, even if it's just cleaning out a closet that I've already cleaned out. But I agree with you. This is our time to shine. And yes, I've just kind of poured my heart out on my sleeve for the 45 years that I've been teaching and working with students, and I loved every minute of it. Well, almost every minute. There were a few times, like when the young man put the live green snake in my desk drawer, and they were all waiting for me to open it, knowing that I was scared to death of snakes. But
Hmm,
little things like that.
hmm.
Kids got to be kids, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Snake would have been
well,
dead, but okay.
it, yeah, I was like, slam that drawer shut. And I was like, I don't know who put that in there, but whoever better come get it out right now. And they did. No hard feelings, I said, but get the snake and turn it loose outside. Yeah, that was several years ago. But I think back over all the years that I had in teaching and all the people that I've come in contact with. And, a lot of them are still in touch with me. They're scattered all over the world. And it's so nice. As a matter of fact, about a month ago, one of my first university students. She and I were the only two females in this class. Um, and it was my first semester to teach at the University of Arkansas. I was, number one, a little nervous. Number two, I was really nervous because she and I were the only two females in there. And
Mm.
we kind of looked at each other and like, what have we got ourselves into? Well, she went on to be my very best student, and then she went on to become a teacher. She taught for me, and now she's teaching for, I think, the University of Nebraska.
Oh,
But
wow.
they named her the outstanding instructor in their university this past year. And she sent me the article, and I was just boo-hooing. And she said to me, "This is all because of you. You told me that I could do it, and look, I did it." So,
Mm.
that just makes my heart just so.
You know, that's a very strong testament to the power of womanhood,
Mhm.
seriously, and
Absolutely.
sisterhood. It was like the two of you bonded together and made it through, like the first for both of you. You know what I'm saying? And but arm in arm, you made it. And look at the fruit of that. That's amazing.
Yes, I am so proud of her, but she's just one story out of many.
I can imagine.
And they're just, like I said, they're just scattered everywhere. And I get the giggles, and the fuzzy little feeling when they reach out to me and stuff.
That's got to be so rewarding,
It is.
because when a student stays in touch with their instructor, it's a testament to you did a good job. All right.
Absolutely.
Um, I've got several teachers that I can't even remember their names. That's how impressed I was with them. But those that made a difference in my life, I'm still grateful for. I still remember what they did, how they empowered me to grow into who I was supposed to be. And so that's amazing. That's
Yes. And she and I both were working in a field that was male dominated.
amazing.
And at one time, I was intimidated by that a little bit, but then as the old saying goes, I pulled up my big girl panties and I'm like, I'm just as good as you guys. And so this young lady took my lead and followed that advice and just look where it got her. And to be honest, yeah, I've tread on property where a woman should never have done.
No,
And
I disagree with that statement. Not that you should never have. They tried to tell you that you should never have.
that's
It was
exactly.
territory that was yours to tread upon, but somebody tried to tell you no. And you
Oh,
said,
not somebody. There was a whole bunch of
whole
some
bunch of somebody's.
males.
I got it. I
Yeah.
understand. I understand. I've endured that on a whole nother level myself. And it's really it's comical when I really think about it. Excuse me. I worked first of all in a definitely a male dominant field in boxing for 28 years.
Mhm.
But because I was on the administrative side of it, I was either their auntie or their big sister. It was
Oh,
like, so that was fine. But when I stepped into ministry, that was when I encountered the biggest pushback because of my gender. And I'm just
yeah.
like, okay. I can remember, this is a true story. I remember being in school. This was, God, I was still working for Don then. So it was like 30 years ago. And in the middle of class, this gentleman just kind of erupted, that I shouldn't be there and I'm a woman and, and I don't need to be teaching. It was like, even the instructor, I mean, it just took the whole class, right? And I just looked, and it was puzzling because it just came out of left field. But I remember looking at him and saying, you know what? Because you learn not to get into these debates, you learn not to get into these arguments, you just learn to be who you be. You be who
Mhm.
you are. And I just looked and I said, you are entitled to your opinion. and that's fine. And I'm gonna let you do you because I'm gonna keep doing Jesus and seeing the fruit of what I'm doing. So you just keep you keep on doing you, and it'll be fine. And then that made him more angry because he didn't make me angry and he didn't
Yeah,
make me retaliate. And it's just
yeah,
like, and at that point, that's when the teacher, the instructor had something to say. But it was just like, okay. And I mean, that was just one of many, but it was just like, where did that come from? Like, I am minding my own business. I'm just, I'm here to learn like everybody else. But
absolutely.
I think we as women, and that's part of what Lioness Warrior Kingdom does, is we help women overcome the traumas of what they were told that they shouldn't do.
Mhm.
You know, there's a lot of abuse that we, just as being females, endure from little girls, unfortunately, um, in domestic relationships sometimes, especially in the boardrooms. They will definitely use all of our ideas. They will use us up and never give us credit for it. And you're not to open your mouth, you're just to tell me. Okay, just tell me.
Been there, done that so many times.
It's like, okay, why am I just telling you? Oh, so you can implement everything that I tell you and take credit for it. Got you, got you.
Yeah.
Um, but to overcome that and understanding the value that we possess. So I feel that what you're doing with your ladies is so important to let them understand that, you're never too old, number one, to embrace your greatness, to embrace your season. It's like you have retired now. I came out of the workforce in September, and it's like opened up a whole new arena, a whole new door. So it was like once you had your 3 days, it was like this awakening, right? That
Like,
okay, now I can do what I feel and
e-
what I'm passionate about.
exactly. I was like, I'm not sitting in this chair anymore. I got things to do, people to see, and I've been doing that ever since.
And you look very happy doing it.
Oh, I'm living my best life. And I have to tell you just a little bit of my background because everything you talked about there I've been through. But many, many years ago, I was raised by Cherokee grandparents, and they were both my strength and my guidance and mentors. And my papa, who was my best friend, always said, Sis, you can do anything you want to do. Just make sure you're doing good work. And then the other thing that he told me that stuck with me is that always treat people the way you'd like to be treated and make sure that's with kindness. And boy, let me tell you, those things have stuck with me for 70 years.
Wow.
And I have instilled that in my son and my nieces. And well, my nieces just are amazing. So they're a whole lot like their Aunt Arge, but they didn't have to
Okay.
go through some of that stuff that I went through. I'm like,
Mm.
you don't have to put up with that. So my oldest niece runs a huge company in Arkansas. Uh,
Mm.
she's not the CEO, but she sits right underneath the CEO, and
And
she's
does the work, I'm sure.
yes, and she's just now turned 40, so she's a pretty amazing young lady. I'm proud of all of them, but yeah.
It is such a blessing when you grow up with that undergirding.
Mm,
My mother's words were similar to your grandfather's. She would say that you can do and be anything in this life that you want to do. Now, she rephrased it a little different. She said you might have to work a little longer than some, and you might have to work a little harder than some, but never give up. Never give up. Pursue what it is that you desire. And that has carried me through life. And part of my mission is to instill that in other women that, whatever it is that you desire to accomplish, you're able to do it. We as women get into this place where we devalue ourselves. And I have learned over the years that if you value you, you will never again let anybody else devalue you. You know, I
that's
went through a season in my teens because I had my children so young. I had them in my teens, and there were so many things spoken to me and over me and about me, not from my mother because she was my rock, but just, from people who
And
like, okay,
yeah,
you're not paying no bills, you're not buying any diapers, you're not doing anything, you're not babysitting, like, oh, you got all this to say. But anyway, um, but I remember how the words cut me and how there needed to be a healing from it because and my healing was a little different than some people because what I did, I went to the other end of the spectrum. So I went into this place of bitterness. If that's how you feel about me, I don't care how you feel about me. And then I didn't care how I treated others, which was really not a good place to be in. Bitterness is ugly. It's really, really ugly. And I walked in that for about 3 years. I'm glad, thank God, it didn't last longer than that. But I learned that how we perceive ourselves has everything to do with how we allow people to treat us, you
yes,
know. And once we get to that place where, it was good and bad. It was like, if that's what you feel, that's on you. I don't care. But at the same time, I still needed to have that heart of compassion for others. Um, but it's what I have found, and you can share your experiences. What I have found with ladies that are in their season of life, ladies that are older that have held on to certain things, certain limiting beliefs about themselves, certain negative feelings about who they are. It's very difficult to get them to let that go. But once they do, once you can get them over that threshold, it is like somebody takes the blinders off of them. Just like poof. And like, you mean I can do what? I can be what? So what is your experience with that?
that's my exact platform. I'm just like, listen, ladies, you're going into your golden year. Shed all that bad stuff, and if you have to start over, let's start over. Um, I want you to tell your stories, the good,
Mm,
the bad, the sweet, the ugly, all of it, because that's what helps you heal. And then those stories, and even that the healing part of the story, you need to share that with the rest of your family. Now,
mm,
I've shared that with my nieces. That may be why they're so strong-willed
mm.
today, which is not a bad thing. Um, not always a good thing, but it's definitely not a bad thing. And so I think that's my purpose in life now is helping ladies tell their story, um, share their life, and know that they're in that season where it's important. And if you have things that are unresolved, like maybe you've had a falling out with a sibling or somebody, now's the time to heal it because we don't know. God didn't promise tomorrow,
This is true.
and you need to take care of those things now. And and there's just so many things that I like to share with women that you need to go ahead and do now that they have pushed aside or not even thought about.
Mhm.
And sometimes I step on their toes, but it's an awakening. It's like you should have done this a while back, but it's not too late. Let's go ahead and get it done now. So I also have a legal background where I understand the things about the wills and the trust. I am not a lawyer. I did not sit for the bar exam because I didn't want to be a lawyer in my third life. Um, but I needed the knowledge to be able to help these women. And so I do work with a wonderful attorney. I refer ladies to him, and oh, to date, I've probably sent him 15 to 20 clients that didn't even know they needed this stuff, and they've come back and thanked me many times over. But I've seen so many families ripped apart over a ring or a piece of property or something. And I'm like, it's time to heal those things and live your very best life. Sometimes people don't even think about little things like
or
No,
it's
no,
about you just making sure that, things are going to go according to your desire and your wishes.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's important. That's very, very important.
But
I am very determined that in this season of life, this is legacy building time, you
absolutely.
know. And so the more we can speak into women's lives and encourage them, it life expectancy has grown quite a bit. And so, like they say, 70 is the new 50.
Yes.
Like,
And I feel that today. Yes.
you know, really. And so there's a lot more that there is to accomplish. You know,
Absolutely.
I am so with you when you were like, I can't just sit in this chair. I remember many, many years ago, that my husband and I were having a conversation, and he was a couch potato. He could just sit and just watch TV, and he was happy. It was just like, that's never been my thing. It's just like I've always been a goer. And I remember asking him one day, I said, "So what are you going to do when you retire? You just going to sit and watch TV?" And he looked at me and he said, "Pretty much." And I said, "I can't do that." It was just, and it was like, seriously, I knew that was not what I was called to do. And bless his heart, for a long time, he just, hey, and then I'm grateful. I'm grateful because he transitioned this past April, but I'm grateful that in the past few years, he decided, you know what, this girl ain't gonna stop going. Let me get up so I can go.
Exactly. Yeah. See if you can keep up with me now.
He was just like, okay, I'm sitting here by myself. It's like, yep,
Again.
what you
Yeah,
doing?
she's off on another trip, and I'm here with the dogs, taking care of the dogs. I can't tell
Exactly.
you how many times I've heard that. And I'm like, well, you can always
Man.
go with me, huh?
So, hey, and I would take my dog with me. Okay, she was a little toy poodle. Like she was going too. Like she fit right up under the seat.
Exactly.
Going.
So
I was just like, come
don't
on.
need no excuses, hon. You can go too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, this is great. This is great. So, let's talk about setting goals at this point in life, because a lot of times, we set goals when we're younger. A lot of times we don't accomplish those goals. And so we take this thought on that, well, it's not even worth it to try or to have something in our view. But even in your seasoned season of life, I believe that it's very, very important that you're still setting goals, that there's still something that you want to accomplish, something that you want to go after. Let's talk about that. How are you
Well,
feeling?
yeah, back in the day, we called it setting the bucket list.
Mm.
Oh, I had maybe 10 things on my bucket list, and I accomplished all those. And I had to make a new bucket list. And now I've accomplished those. And so
And so we just keep making lists.
we just keep making lists, and you can call them goals or bucket lists or
Right,
whatever.
right.
But I have to tell you, I have one myself. And I was going to do this last year, but Mother Nature didn't cooperate with me. I said I wanted to hike the Grand Canyon before I hit 70. Well, then the fires hit and the canyon closed down, and I'm like, okay, God, I get the message. I wasn't in good enough shape or health just yet. So you had to do this disaster to keep me from
All you need to do was tell me. I'd have been okay.
yeah, just tell me you didn't have to burn the thing.
I know. I know, right?
But now, I've hit 70 and I'm determined I'm going to hike that canyon rim to rim. Now, that may be down one rim to the river and then back up the same rim, but that's still rim to rim
It
at
is.
70, and I'm going to do it. And and we were talking earlier about the speaking engagements in London and different places, and I'm
Mhm.
thinking, well, I'm not getting any younger. And it's time that I go do this. And just think of the women's lives that I can still touch.
Absolutely.
And so I think whether you call them your bucket list or goals, you definitely, need to do that.
I think it's a matter of not stopping living.
Yeah,
That's the key.
exactly.
when you don't have anything left that you want to accomplish, you stop aspiring to live. Life is an adventure, and it is an adventure that should be lived
To the
seriously
fullest. To
to
the
the
fullest.
fullest, to the fullest. And for those of us that we have been blessed still with our health and our strength, girl, you go hike that Grand Canyon. I will not be with you, but you go hike that Grand Canyon.
Now listen, you don't live that far from the canyon, so
I
you can
don't. I can
you
go
can
and cheer you on from the rim, but I'm not hiking the Grand Canyon.
and then maybe you'll see me again in 3 or 4 days, however
But
long
let
it
me
takes.
tell you, I mean, we all have different things that excite us. When I was in Valencia last year, I went swimming in the Mediterranean. That was like your Grand Canyon, right? That was so amazing to me, to get in the Mediterranean Sea and swim. And I swam to shore from where the boat was and stood and waved at everybody. And that was an amazing experience. It's just like there's got to be something in your life that brings you joy.
Absolutely.
Brings you joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, some of that's gardening. I have a very small acreage, but it's covered with flowers and fruits
Oh,
and things. And I was at the pet shed or plant shed with my husband, and the guy that runs it, we worked with him for a long time. He was the groundskeeper at the university, so we knew him very well. And Bobby said to him, when she dies, I need you to bring your backhoe and dig up my backyard and take all these plants back and resell them because that's my retirement.
oh
He was joking, but I love my plants, and his he says to me, when somebody says I have a green thumb, he said, yeah, hers goes all the way up to her earlobe.
but it brings you joy.
It
And
brings me
he
a lot.
likes it too. He
Oh,
enjoys seeing you have joy. Yeah.
yes, and he's out there helping me too. As a matter of fact, for my birthday in January, he bought me 5 new blueberry plants. So
Oh.
there you go. And they're out there growing away. I'm just waiting to get the fruit off of them.
So blueberries you plant in the wintertime? I'm
Uh,
learning.
well, I was able to because our weather's just been really strange because it was like in the 70s and 80s during
Oh,
that time
wow.
frame, and
Okay.
this weekend we're expecting snow, so I've got them covered and they're well taken care of.
Right.
Never abandoned.
I said I wanted to buy acreage because I believe the food that they're feeding us now is killing us. And so I want to be able, to grow my own. Currently, I'm in Vegas. I'm in the desert. There's not a whole lot that grows in this. In this. But I've been seeing these little kind of portable gardens where you can put it inside and they grow,
Yeah.
they bloom, and you can, your herbs and different things I've been thinking
Oh
about.
yeah.
But
Call me and I'll come
ultimately,
help you.
okay. I really would love to have some land and do, I think it's called a food forest, where you can just go and live off the land. And that I would be in heaven, seriously. I would probably hire workers to work it, but I would be in heaven because I would have it. And if I wanted to walk out there and pick something, I could. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now, I did get denied one of my requests. I love those little miniature donkeys or mules or whatever they are. I think they're donkeys.
Okay.
They're not much bigger than my schnauzer dogs, and
Okay.
I was kind of begging for one of those to go in the backyard, and he looked at me. He said, no,
No.
that is not happening. We're not old McDonald's farm."
So there is a line to be drawn, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Well,
okay. I'll just admire everybody else's.
quiet as is kept, I want two little lion cubs. I want a male and a female so that they can procreate. But and I want them
What?
from babies. I want cubs. I want cubs so they can grow up. But
And love on you. Yes.
yes.
So if you had that acreage, I mean, they could just roam
Because
and
I want 20 acres, so it's enough room.
yeah,
It'll be enough room.
absolutely. Yeah.
It'll be enough room.
Well,
So,
I can definitely help you spoil them. So,
okay.
yeah.
Yes. They're so cuddly and they're so cute. And they grow up to be great protectors.
They do.
I had a friend, actually he was vice president of Don King Productions, and he grew up in New Orleans, and he used to tell me the story. He had a pet lion. Because he lived like kind of right outside the city limits, and he had a pet lion, and it was so funny. And he said one day somebody broke into his house. He was still a little, he was a young man, let me put it that way. He wasn't a little boy, but he was living with his parents, and somebody broke in the house and they didn't know there was a lion in the house.
I'm guessing it didn't take them long to get out of there.
And when they got home, the man was like plastered against the wall. This lion wouldn't let him move. And he was begging for him to call the police. It was just like, take me to jail, whatever, give me away from this lion. I'm like, I can only imagine. Can you imagine you crawl through somebody's window to rob their house and you encounter a lion?
No. No. Now,
That had to be priceless. I mean, that had to be absolutely priceless. I was like, I'm sure he didn't break in nobody else's house. That was the end of his criminal career, you know? But yeah.
I did have a student once that invited me over for dinner, and then after I got over there, she said, "Oh, by the way, I have a pet snake," and I was like, "I'm out of here."
Don't do snakes.
I
I
don't
do
do
not do
any kind of
snakes.
snakes, pet or otherwise.
I do not do snakes. I'm so serious. My grandson had a pet snake once. So I will see you when you come to my house. Okay,
Exactly.
because I'm not coming to yours. You know, but Granny, it's in the. I don't care what it's in. It's a snake. I don't do snakes. And the
Now,
funny thing is, my husband, like he was in the Air Force for 12 years, and he was stationed over in Nam. And apparently, he told this story. He went into this bar, and he was deathly afraid of snakes. Right? He goes into this bar, and some guy in the bar had a pet snake and threw the snake down at his feet, and he killed the snake and threatened the man. Like, he literally pulled out his weapon, shot the snake, and said, "I will kill you."
the moral of that story is keep your pet snakes private because the
It's
public
like
don't like them.
I can remember taking my kids to the San Diego Zoo when they were young, right? And I had a really close friend that lived in San Diego, and so we went to go visit. And we went to walk, I don't know what I was thinking. We went to walk into the reptile enclosure, and as soon as you walk in, there was this huge python in this glass. I saw that python. I was like, Frank, I'll see y'all when y'all come out on the other side, because I don't care if they're enclosed in glass. Well, I'm not walking through this.
No,
I'm just not.
no,
Mm,
I'm right there with you. Now, I
mm-mm.
will say I do have honeybees in my backyard. My
Yes.
husband and I raised, but my excuse for all these flowers is I have to make sure that the honeybees, have
They got to
so
pollinate, right?
exactly. So that's why my flowers and my vegetables and everything do so well. That's because of the honeybees. So
I'm good with bees. I don't have a problem. Snakes are really, I would venture to say, the only thing that it's like I'm not, I mean, I don't like lizards or anything like that, but I had a house in Florida for years, and so we had this iguana that I guess decided it wanted to be our friend because it was in my tree outside of my dining room window every morning, and it was just, but it's just something about a snake. I don't like them. I
uh,
just don't like them. And so, yeah.
well, true confession here. When I brought my some of my plants in the house because I couldn't get them all in the greenhouse. A little lizard came in with them, and
Mm.
he's still in there in the window. I just
The
told Bobby,
little baby lizards are not, they're little. They're
yeah,
okay. The big ones, that's a little different.
yeah.
But the little ones, like, and I had a son and a daughter. And so of course my son was drawn to lizards and reptiles. And there was used to be this park here called Tule Springs, and I had taken the kids to Tule Springs, my mom and and I don't know where he winded up with a shoebox, but he's walking to the car with this shoebox, and I'm going, what is in that box? And he had done collected lizards. Oh no, you're gonna leave that box here.
Just happened to be somebody's shoebox laying out there.
You're gonna leave that box right here. You are not bringing that to my house. But mama looked and looked, no, and it probably was like 4 or 5 of them in there. No, you're not bringing this to my house.
He had mama, daddy, and grandpa and grandma.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my
Serious.
goodness.
But being in the desert, like you're used to seeing lizards and different things like that. And then being in Florida, there was the frogs, there was snakes, there was everything, right? Um, but it's like you have territory that you occupy, and that territory is outside of my house. Okay. You're free to do whatever you want to do on the other side of my door. You just can't
Exactly.
come in my door. You just
Yeah.
can't come in my door. Anyway, I don't know how we got off on this, but the bottom line though is, ladies, don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't stop dreaming.
Mhm.
Don't
Mhm.
stop aspiring to accomplish. I am in a season where literally God has taken me on a whole nother journey to the one that I would have thought I would have been on at this season of my life. And it's so invigorating because, like I said, to me, life is an adventure. And so, if you allow yourself to embrace the different things that are within you, it's like, especially as women, we take care of our parents, we take care of our husbands, we take care of our children, we take care of all of the people around us. And a lot of times, when we're doing that, we're sacrificing our own dreams to do it.
Yes.
And then we get to a point where, when you got that empty nest syndrome, or, maybe your husband, your spouse has transitioned, or whatever it is, and you find yourself with just yourself and you're lost. What do I do with me? I'm so used to taking care of everybody else. What do I do with me? And so we want to encourage you. Now it's me time. It is time for you to take care of yourself. And it's time to dream again. It's time to dream again. One of the things that I take the ladies on when I do the warrior retreats, the round tables, is the very first thing that we do as an icebreaker. We go around the room so everybody can introduce themselves and tell each other, what was your dream when you were a child? What did you dream of being? All right. And it's interesting when they start to think about it, because a lot of times it's so far behind them that they forgot the dream.
Mhm.
And for some of them, they accomplished the dream, and most of them, though, did not. And maybe the dream changed over years or what have you. But the key to the whole exercise is to dream again. Because when we were children, our dreams were limitless. We believed that we could accomplish anything.
Anything. Yep.
So when did we stop believing that in ourselves? When did we stop believing that anything was possible? And I believe that that's where we need to reset. We need to get back to that place where anything is possible. Doesn't matter your age. Heck, Sarah was having a baby at 90. I don't want to be doing that.
I
But
know. Exactly.
you know, you're gonna scale the Grand Canyon at 70. It's, oh, girl, you're gonna accomplish things that you want to do though. And it's, again, It's never too late to dream.
Never too late.
Never too late.
I'm going to tell you something that I haven't told very many people. I love to learn. And you made a comment when we were talking about gardening, how um, our food is not healthy for us anymore, and lots of things along those lines. I'm going back to medical school. Now, am I going to be a practicing doctor? No, I don't think so, but I might. I want to learn about our bodies. And
Mm,
it's not like, I'm starting from scratch because I have 2 doctorate degrees already and 400 and plus college hours. So I don't have to take all the gen eds.
right. Right.
I'm just concentrating on the human body
Mm,
and how we can make things better and how
mm,
we can eat the right foods and how eating the wrong foods can cause all kinds of problems. And
that's
I'm just so excited to be learning this stuff. And I'm thinking, oh, that's why I've been sick all my life. Oh, I shouldn't have been eating that stuff. And
mm,
that wasn't one of my original dreams when I was a child, but I developed a new dream and a new plan, and
mm.
I'm going after it. Um, Lord willing, so far, He's helping me get through. Now, the first semester was supposed to be, I think, 16 weeks, and it was kind of a self-study thing. I finished mine in 4.5 weeks.
I was going to say, I know you aced it. I mean, like, I'm like, okay, because I
I'm
know it
like,
didn't take you 16 weeks if you were doing a self-study. Okay.
I'm like, so when's the next semester ready? And they're like, could you just slow down a little bit? And they're like,
No,
are
time
you?
is of the essence. Like, hey, I
Yeah.
gotta get this.
I'm like, I'm 70 and I'm gonna go hike the canyon. I need to get this out of the way. Oh my goodness.
But
But
that's
I'm really
amazing.
loving learning.
That's
And so
amazing.
to your point, you're never too old to
Never
learn.
know. You never
And
know.
I'm hoping that what I pick up, I can share with my other ladies to help them feel better. And I'm just kind of excited about life right
I'm
now.
excited about it for you. You're down to the last 3 minutes of the show. So I want you to tell ladies how they can find you, tell them about your organization, and give your closing remarks.
Okay. You can find me on my website. It is herlifelegacy.com, HerLifelegacy, all run together. And it talks about my program and my courses and my things that I do to help you ladies write your story and tell your golden chapter and leave it just like you want to leave it. Or if you want to follow me on social media, which at our age, social media is not really our thing, but I'm on there. And you can just go by my name. I use all 3 names, Argie Nell Nichols, all that run together. And ladies, I want you to know that you are going into a golden year. Don't do what I did. Don't get in that recliner and give up. Get yourselves up, set you a new bucket list, and let's go to it.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I so appreciate you. We met a year ago. It's
We did.
January. We met a year ago, and you had just written your story
Mhm.
in the Women Thrive series. And I think that I remember us having our conversation, and it was kind of like you becoming like this. It was this epiphany that went off in you,
Yeah,
to just you had actually accomplished this. You had told your story, and it was so freeing for you. And so I'm so blessed to know that you are providing opportunity for other women to share and to tell their story. That's an amazing thing. It really.
absolutely. It took me 68 years to get the courage to tell that story, and I'm
Mm.
very glad that I did. And now I'm working on another book, which I'm not going to give it away just yet, but it's going to be a good one too.
Okay. All right. Well, you go ahead, Miss Author. Go ahead. All right, my lionesses, that's it for today. Thank you for joining in. And for you lionesses that are in your season, all right, it is time to dream again. It is a time to explore the beauties of life. You're not too old. You're not too old, and the more you get out and explore, the younger you will feel. All right.
Absolutely.
The younger you will feel. All right, ladies, thank you so much. And Lord willing, I will see you next Friday. God bless. Bye bye. Thank you, Argie.
You're very welcome.